Welcome back guys to another video. In this video, I want to talk about something that's becoming more and more frequent on our radars here. I've been having a lot of conversations with people who are thinking about buying recruitment agencies, buying recruitment franchises, or those that have already bought one and share with me their juicy details. So if you are in one of these phases or thinking about it, you came to the right video. Really appreciate that. A little bit about me. I'm a professional recruiter scaling my own 7-figure agency. Recruiting changed my life. I started as a solo recruiter in 2015 after working and becoming one of the top at an award-winning recruitment firm in New York out of 300 recruiters nationwide. I broke $500,000 a year on my own desk, no handouts, 100K per month. And I did the same thing on my own desk, working for myself between 500, 800K net every single year, working with some of the best brands here in the US and now scaling a profitable agency. So when it comes to like buying a recruitment agency, there are a couple reasons that I want to go over and let's get into it. The first is if you think about buying a business and a franchise, you're going to be completely reliant on the team or training, right? I think before I kind of dive into this, the fine print is I'm all about buying businesses. I'm all about like franchise opportunities. I think they're wonderful, but are they actually wonderful for recruitment, right? And that's the point of this video. So just kind of want to share with you my humble thoughts and perspectives and hope that I can kind of guide you the right way. So the biggest thing with recruitment is that if you were to consider buying a recruitment agency 10 years ago or 20 years ago, or even, maybe 8 years ago, that would have been a good idea. I think it's really dangerous to do that now. And I think the main first reason is you're just reliant on the team or training with the caveat and fine print that it's based on outdated practices and trainings, right? The recruitment industry right now is going through the most seismic shift and change it has in decades. Everything that you know about recruiting, specifically candidates, but most importantly, how to get clients, the technologies, the flows, the systems are rapidly changing. So just because you know how to do things one way in the past, or just because one way worked in the past, it's not going to work now. And danger with that is a lot of businesses, especially if you're thinking about buying them, a lot of their training, a lot of the principles, a lot of the systems and workflows or tech is going to be what worked in the past. And that absolutely, unfortunately, is not working right now. This point aside, we have a lot of conversations with amazing recruiters, some of them huge billers, some of them they owned massive teams, some of them, boasting 7-figure years, but they can't even get one client this year. They can't even break 6 figures this year, right? It just goes to show the point I'm trying to make that like the times are changing. And I think the people that are not evolved, are not intentionally like embracing technology, embracing new ways of doing things are absolutely going to struggle. So going back to this slide, the reason why that this first point is so congruent is most trainings, unfortunately, are going to be outdated, right? And if you're being taught by someone, first of all, who's not in the trenches, that's a huge red flag. If the training's based off of something even like 2-3 years ago, especially 5-10 plus years ago, if emphatically, like it's just not going to be able to robustly help you in this landscape moving forward. And most of the teams are trained on outdated methods. So you know that when you buy a business, you are completely reliant on that team. Even if that person or that individuals are competent and they're successful, it's going to be very difficult for them to continue that success now into the future, right? And we're just seeing this time and time again. You can be talking to an amazing general manager, a business development superstar who just has no idea how to get clients now, right? Someone again who was able to run multi-7-figure desk, did things one way, the old school traditional way, and they're completely failing now. 8-9-figure agencies are now doing layoffs for the first time because there are things that are changing in more like the macro environment in the industry. And so it's very, very important to more than ever to be aware and sensitive about the changes and you have to adapt to it. What worked before won't work nearly as well now. So again, the simple fact of the matter is if you acquire a team or training, it doesn't matter if they've done X last year or X 2 years ago. The question is, can they do that now? And I think that's the same decision making and risk that you have to kind of go through buying any sort of opportunity out there, including franchise. The only difference is in recruitment, we're literally living through the biggest change the industry is going through right now. It didn't happen 5 years ago, and it's not going to happen 5 years from now. Like we're literally living in it right now. So I think if people at the bare minimum, if you're buying an opportunity and they're not still a practicing recruiter, there's a huge possibility and a huge red flag in my opinion that they do not know nor can they be truly confident on how to truly navigate you in this landscape moving forward. Real quick, if you ever thought about starting your own recruitment agency or you're a recruiter struggling to land clients, you'll want to check out our coaching and implementation program. Inside, I give you the exact scripts, the outreach templates, and acquisition systems I used to hit over $500,000 my first year, scale to over $100,000 months, and do over $5 million in placements on my own desk. Our students are already hitting $30,000, $50,000, even $80,000 per month or more. Many of them doing it part-time. So if you want to learn the same playbook, the link's below. It's exactly what I use. Now back to the video. In terms of point number 2, a recruitment business is so affordable to start. So if you've been watching it, you would already know this, but if you're new here, guys, when I started as a solo recruiter, I had zero money. In fact, I borrowed my fiance's credit card, spent the first couple of $1,000s on incorporating website and just buying LinkedIn. And from that, I went from minus maybe $200 or $2,500 to $524,000 in the green in the first year, right? And I still believe that if you understand the fundamentals and foundation of this business really, really solid right now, and in 2025 and 2026, you can still go out there and get clients manually. You can still go out there and get candidates manually using Google Sheets and Google Docs. That's what I did. Physical note paper, a Moleskine notebook, that still works. Are you going to have to work 30 times harder? Yeah, but that still works, right? The issue on top of that is it's not only affordable to start, it's also affordable to run. If you had a business, if you had a recruitment agency and you had all the money in the world and you want to even invest in the best automation AI technology available now, there's no reason for you to like spend significantly more than $200 to $400 a month max. Of course, you can go crazy and get all the bells and whistles, but like $200 to $400 is plenty enough to create a strong system that can yield you results for clients and candidates, right? Anything more than that, it's either you just have a lot of money that you just want to spend, or you're just thinking that like just spending more will give you results faster, which again, you might be a rude awakening, might not be necessary at all, right? Even with a smaller budget, like I told you, when I started, I had zero money. I used Google Docs, Google Presentation, Google Excel, and I was able to be extremely profitable with that, right? And so like, even with a smaller budget, you can absolutely run an agency with much less as long as you have really strong fundamentals and foundation. What really scares me is I'm talking to people right now who are willing to pay ridiculous amount of fees and franchise fees to start a business. People who are willing to put down $50,000, $100,000 or more to start a business, which is insane to me, because this business I started with $2,000. And even now, if I were to start over again, I would probably need a couple $1,000s, obviously more for maybe savings and more for like a mental health, psychological point of view, but no way would you need tens of thousands of dollars, let alone $100K to start a business. And the crazy thing is I'm talking to people who spent this much money and now they're stuck for the main point of the previous slide. The training's non-existent, the system's non-existent, or maybe it's based on completely outdated technology that does not work now. And the crazy thing is outdated doesn't mean 10 years old. It could be even 3 years old, 5 years old, super recent, because we're going through that massive change right now. You alone, if you know the fundamentals correctly, can make $200,000 or $600,000 by yourself in this industry. And you don't even need an office. You don't even need to hire someone. You don't need to godly spend tens of thousands of dollars in technology. The expenses are extremely low compared to many other businesses out there. So knowing this, why the heck would you pay $50K to $100K? Some of the conversations I had, they were valid. They're like, hey, we just didn't know anybody. I'm like, that's totally fair. But I also hope that like videos like these, information that you can gather out there goes to show you like recruitment is very different from traditional businesses out there. You don't need a lot of these crazy overheads or crazy expenses pulling you down or stressing you out. You just need a couple months in savings, ideally more, but like in terms of actually running and starting the business, several $1,000s is more than enough. The next point is you're not just reliant on training and team. Even the systems are completely outdated or clunky or even just way too expensive. If you just Google recruitment tools online, you're going to find hundreds and hundreds of options out there. And if you don't know where to start, I understand it can be extremely overwhelming, but if you don't put in a lot of time to test, it's easy just to kind of resort to the tools that are just shoved down your throat, or maybe like you just follow what the franchisee training manual will tell you, or you just follow what everyone else is using. But would that necessarily mean you're going to be using the right tools for your business? Probably not, right? If you use the wrong tools, you can absolutely be overwhelmed with unnecessary features and functions that just give you analysis paralysis. You feel like everything's just overcomplicated and you're like, my God, I don't even know where to start, because instead of just thinking about one or two features, you're thinking about 100, and that would overwhelm everyone, including me. The second thing is you could be paying 10 times more than you should. In the previous slide, I told you like 200 to 400, that's like a really good sweet spot, right? There's honestly not that much additional reason for you to spend that much more on top of that, right? But I have conversations constantly, people spending thousands, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 9,000 a month on tools. And I didn't even know there were that many tools out there to spend that much money on. It's wild. I remember talking to someone who told me he was spending, I think roughly around 6,000 a month on tools. And after we helped him one-on-one, he's now spending less than 400, getting way more results than what he's used to, right? To me, like this is just mind boggling. You're just throwing money down the drain. You can just like lose track of yourself and time with all the additional software that could actually slow you down. Like why get 5 softwares when you can just get one, right? Why focus on 10 different features when you can just focus on 1 or 2? It's all about like not overcomplicating things. Like let's slow down a little bit and let's be a little bit more simple. Lastly, it can also constrict you to old technology that really just don't integrate with other tools like CRMs or modern tools that you may use. So let's say that you bought a franchise or you bought a business and they're using some sort of system. Chances are it could be exposed to risks of the previous points I talked about. But what if like, you want to invest into newer tools, AI tools, ATS tools, CRMs? There's a really strong chance that this old dinosaur of a system is just not going to also integrate with the modern stuff out there, which kind of gives you another conundrum. Like, what do you do? Do you use this new stuff? Do you just ignore, avoid them forever? Or do you just kind of get rid or make changes with your old clunky system, but your whole business rides and dies on it and you don't even know where to start, right? That's not a situation you want to be in. Perhaps you're locked into the system on an annual contract, which is horrible, or perhaps you're paying 10x more and there's nothing you can do about it, right? And so when it comes to buying anything, it's a huge investment. When it comes to buying anything for tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, I hope that you do your due diligence. I hope that you really understand that this business truly is different. It's one of the most affordable businesses to start and run, and it's one of the best businesses in terms of the best profit margins, especially if you're just starting out by yourself, or maybe you and having a really small team. And if it's truly optimized and efficient, my God, this can be an amazing lifestyle business, a cash business, or extremely profitable business that supports your network, your friends and family up for a life of success. So I hope that this business resonated with you. I hope it gave you value. I hope I'm also helping you with some guidance transparently from someone who's been in the industry for a long time. And in terms of next steps, again, just a couple things to keep in mind. In terms of the budget, you can start this business with hundreds of dollars or less if you wanted to. If you want to do everything manually, chances are, I hope that you have a little bit more than hundreds of dollars. And if you do, then you're sitting in a great place. You can simply purchase and use a lot of the main or basic automation tools out there, AI tools, and really learn the fundamentals really well. You don't need thousands of dollars to start this business. You don't need thousands of dollars to even run this business. You can be extremely affordable with the budget. The people that we work with day to day, some of them have a budget of hundreds or maybe even significantly more than that. And others have a budget of $100 a month or $50 a month or $30 a month. And if it's less, that's fine. Learn the fundamentals first so that you can learn things properly, do things properly. And then as you do placements, as you have more money, you can always reinvest and automate as you go, right? There's no need to buy all the amazing, sexy technology from day one if it's going to cause you more financial stress. Do things at your own pace. Number two, it's so important to learn the fundamentals of recruitment, because in this business, recruitment is a sales business. You can't really teach someone how to be a better salesperson if you don't even know how to do it yourself, right? The best way is lead by example. And if you can go out there and you can get clients, you can get cans, you can do deals, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can absolutely effectively train someone to do it the same way you are. The issue with not knowing fundamentals is you're going to now lean on technology or hiring people to solve your problems. And with the speed at which the recruitment industry is changing, just because you found someone who seems like a rock star, if all their success is dictated in the past, you won't know if they'll be able to be successful now, because business development even a year ago or 2 years ago doesn't mean business development today. Same thing with systems, AI, candidate acquisition. We're literally living through the biggest change that the recruitment industry has ever gone through, and the speed is truly mind-boggling. So if you're just thinking about, oh my God, I don't know how to find clients, I just need to hire people that can help me find it, unless they're doing it now, there's no confidence, in my opinion, that they can actually help you. And because of that, there's a huge chance you're just going to simply waste your money. You want to be able to keep the tech stack as simple as possible. When you get started, I don't care even if you have all the money in the world, there's no reason for you to be utilizing more than 2 to 4 softwares or apps in the beginning. Anything more, you're overcomplicating it. You really just want to focus on the fundamentals, find clients, find candidates, optimize, put it together, make money. Simple as that. It's the simplest business to do, but it's also the simplest business to overcomplicate. You want to just do whatever you can to focus on your first placement. It's just as simple as that. You do that, you're immediately profitable, right? With your first placement, which should be around $20,000 to $40,000. And then instead of having to break even at 80 or 100K, even though that is a difficult position to be in, 80 or 100K, the good news for you guys, you're only looking at 3 to 5 placements, right? So you're able to do that in the next 12 months. At least you broke even, you got that hard-earned money back. But if you didn't spend it, your first placement, you're immediately profitable, and then you can reinvest that into greater technology and systems. Lastly, then once you do that, once you do your first step, right, then you can focus on placements 2 through 10 and beyond, get into a good cadence, scale, reinvest, hire technology as far and fast as you want to go. This is literally one of the best industries that anyone can look into for a career, but most importantly for a side hustle or starting a business. The recruitment industry is going to become one of the biggest industries in the world. We're on track of becoming $1 trillion industry. The pie is big enough. The opportunity is big enough for everybody. If you're going to come into this industry, do it properly. We don't need to spend an arm and a leg to get started. Be smart, understand the fundamentals, just focus on the main goal that makes sense, which is placement number 1. Get that cash into your pocket so you know it's real, and then go full speed ahead. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope I saved some of you guys who are not buying businesses. Have confidence, learn it yourself, and then you can scale this as far as you want to go. So thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.